Professor Eric over here. Gonna do some amazing grace jiu-jitsu today.
Amazing grace jiu-jitsu. Yeah. Man, so last week we talked about posture control, controlling the head, cutting an angle, and Professor Eric's got a brilliant setup for the armbar. We did a high shoulder guard.
Yep.
This is kind of before you get there, what can you do? But it's all the same stuff.
Yeah.
You get the guy in the high shoulder guard, he's going to try to swim forward. He's going to try to bury the elbow. He's going to try to fight the armbar. Yeah. Pretty much there's only like 3 reactions if you think about it with an arm in almost every position.
Oh, for sure.
Like if you go for Americana, what can I do? I can straighten it, I can lower it. Yeah. There's not much else. So that's how you want to look at things when you're going for like an armbar or any kind of attack, is what are the 3 possibilities that arm can do? And then if we consider the neck, you're just layering opportunities to hopefully capitalize and submit.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's do it.
So we're gonna start.
Let's get it slightly closer over here.
We're gonna start talking about like when I have this control. So I always like to back up the neck. 'Cause the more I'm here, it's just like Pedro always says, you got to control the spine. Like, so I'm always trying to control this spine here. And I think the other day we were talking about bringing this in, right? And using this to start setting up the
high shoulder guard.
The whole high shoulder guard.
Yeah, from here.
So there's like a myriad of things that can happen here, right? He can, if I keep this here, he could try to force this out this way right here. And so we can think about this in a couple different ways, right? So if we're talking about a fight and I'm monitoring, when I come here, that's exactly when I throw the elbow. Like if he tries to force it out, I'm going to use that to elbow, and then I'm going to try to start repummeling inside again. Right? If we're talking about jiu-jitsu, what I like to do is see how I allow this, and I'm coming here. So see how when I have this sort of control, right? I already have this one in, and so the big thing, like I was watching people do this actually the other day on YouTube, and where you can tell if someone knows what they're doing, and when they don't is, someone doesn't know what they're doing, they always use the foot to try to move around somebody's body. They use the ground. What happens is I lose connection with somebody right there, and I can't tell what he's going to do. I can't keep him from moving this way.
Well, you can even have, like if you put 2 hands on my neck.
Yeah, here.
I can just let him have the choke.
For sure.
Now you can't choke me.
For sure. And so that's why like the mechanic has to be the same. It's just like the arm lock. Where so if I'm here and he brings this in, so see how like that's how I really can get this. So see how it's stretched, and that's what's going to allow me to get this situation here.
Now you got it.
Yep. And so it's just a matter of coming back, and like I said, this is kind of the way that I think about it. You have these 2 options right here. So if he pushes on the chest right here like this, the belly button comes. Sorry, he pushes on the belly, the chest comes. So we have to look at it more than just trying to fight with my hands. Just look at where what he's trying to do to stop me right there. So that's kind of like the first idea is going into.
Let's go on this side. Plus now we match the girl.
Let's see. So this will be my.
Well, I want to show him. You got a really good detail here. Like a lot of people, and I've seen things too, like yank on the elbow.
Oh, you mean like...
it's like the same 2-on-1 concept. Like, if you put 2 hands on my wrist, then I'm no longer here.
Yep, for sure.
So if you look at the way he does this, when he holds the neck, he's touching my elbow, but his elbow's on the floor. And so it's really heavy. It's really hard because I can't move through the floor.
Yep.
But if your elbow was like up, I'm here. Now I can like move wherever I go inside. Wherever I want. So you're reinforcing it on the ground.
Yep, just making it a post just like this. Because that's the whole thing is when I come here like this, it's tough. Even if he tries to push out right here like this way, see how my hip can be every time.
You have to let me do it.
It's very, 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 very tough right there.
Even going up, because now I got to clear this arm. If I go up as high as I can.
Yeah, you're starting to stretch this arm.
Yeah, I'm just giving him the arm.
Yeah, you can't see it. Yeah, it's a very, very good point right there. And he's giving me that because this is stretched right here over top right here. He's clearing this big gap here to move it that way too. So very hard, man. It's a very hard situation. Very hard situation.
So let's just do 3 in a row real quick.
So the choke.
Yep, choke number 1.
Choke number 1. Sorry.
And play with it, like test it and make sure they can't move the elbow out.
So here, very, very tough.
I can't move it. You let me do it.
So see how?
Now you're over.
And so and I don't let him get the hand back. Don't let him get the hand back. And
and I'm going to swivel my hips this way. And so that's because I still have control over it. I have a lot of control over it, and it's just about being loose. You know, like one of the best someone has ever heard was said you just barely want to touch your hips do the choking.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, let's do arm lock.
So
we're here. A lot of people counter the choke by going over the top, counter this arm.
Yep,
so now I
exactly.
stretch.
Perfect. And so when I come here, I don't want to just stand underneath them and do this. The right leg is what moves them. You see what I mean? That's what's going to make it this so it's very hard to get out and I have the arm lock there. What was the third one?
Move the elbow and take it back.
Oh, sure. So I can move this inside.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people, when they feel this pressure,
Yep.
and they don't want to get choked, they'll hunker down.
Yep.
And so now my elbow is going straight down. It's easy for you to move around it.
And it's almost kind of like when Joe talks about the tie clinch, you know that one where like what Greg Nelson's really big at, like bearing that arm right there.
Yeah.
It's the same exact idea right here. I'm just not gonna let you get that arm back.
Yeah, where's it gonna go?
Yeah, and there's a lot of mechanics, a lot of things we can do from here too. But I want to kind of control it. It's just so like the basic idea is making sure that I have control with this left. You can grab if you can grab here. But I want to have some sort of control over that lat. What I don't want to do is if I get on my hand, yep, that comes free. And also, it makes my leg 10 times less mobile. If I'm on my elbow, and I used to do this all the time where I'd come here as I was taught that.
Yeah.
But you have so much more mobility with this elbow on the ground. But see, now this leg has a lot more freedom. I just connect,
Then you can cut.
then I can get up on the hand right there. Yeah, it's crazy. A lot of steps in that, but.
Good thing I've been working out. You know,
I know, man. I think I've been working out more these last last month and a half than I have in a long time. Probably since my early 30s, I would guess, man. Just
you're
getting at it.
man.
Yeah.
Another month or two.
That's true. But yeah, that's just kind of the basic idea of like always making it like self-defense. So like that way, you see when I use that same exact idea. If you try to force it and we're in a fight, I just elbow you in the face and I re-pummel. Right? So like anytime that you're trying to force it, I want to let it go, and that's going to be my option to start hitting or doing anything right there too. I don't want to just start hitting somebody when they have good control and like are really just basing out. So very, very tough. But yeah, just different ways of looking at things.
And looking at the submissions from the jiu-jitsu aspect, and just like what 3 reactions can I give you? I can pull away, I can hunker down, push down, or I can stretch.
Yeah.
But as long as you have a plan, they're all good for you. And that's why you don't have to cling to the choke for dear life.
Yeah.
You don't have to only have the armbar in your head.
Yeah. When I stopped clinging for the choke from dear life, what happened for dear life happened was I started making it work 100 times more frequently, because you just learn how to take away the leverage that they're trying to use. Get their neck out.
Well, no matter what they do, you have an option.
Yep. And you start becoming really smart.
Yeah, and you're less greedy, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it doesn't matter. You don't even think like armbar. You just like position.
Yeah.
And then whatever the person gives you is the one you're gonna take.
100%, brother. 100%.
Yeah, I don't know. There's not like faking in jiu-jitsu. But if I genuinely go for the armbar, you have to defend it. So the guy's gonna bend his elbow or drive or do whatever.
Or set up the triangle by pulling that arm out.
Yeah.
There's just so many options right there.
And the cool thing, you say this a lot too, is you want to encourage a black belt to act like a white belt. And I think what you mean by that is, I think I've been listening.
Oh, well,
is like
he's got his stuff down.
It's just human nature. Yeah. Like there's only so many ways I can move my arm. So once I feel that sense of pressure and urgency, I'm not going to pick some random made up thing. It's just going to be my natural reaction. Yeah. Oh, pressure, go this way.
And I remember like, and you too, man. Like you've heard like black belts, so I get like name any names or anything like that. But they'd be like, no, that's not how you would react, and you're like, no, that like you've got to put, like so. That's not the education. The goal is to have an understanding of how that guy's going to react. Because that's kind of how I get it. It's like, gosh, what would I do in this situation if someone put me there? And you can, if that's your natural reaction, is like what you would naturally do, it's probably what somebody else is going to do. So you better figure out a plan on how to deal with that too.
Yeah, lists are cool.
Yeah.
But they don't. The guy doesn't always go by the list. Like, how often have you been in an academy where somebody untrained comes in. Maybe they have like a little wrestling background, and they'll give people a hard time. And it's because, oh, hey, you don't pass guard that way.
Yep.
Oh, hey, you don't move this way. Like, you got to do the right technique.
Yeah.
Well, if jiu-jitsu only works against jiu-jitsu done the right way, it's pretty useless in the street or anywhere else you're going to take
Can you imagine what would happen if, like, and I mean, we do have people that are like that here, but if people took those concepts and that, like, playful mind and took it into a striking art, everybody would be amazing. But it's very hard because, you know, it's very hard to calm down and not take it personally and not trying to force what you're trying to accomplish. It's hard. It's very, very hard. But like that's what also holds you down in a striking art or like I think any art.
You gotta put the ego away, be willing to explore like all the time, just be willing to tap out. I mean, that's out there too, right? Like black belts, any color belt, you gotta defend the belt.
Yeah.
So you're like, rather than learning, I'm just not gonna tap out, you know? Or I have to get this guy and I have one submission from here I do well, so that's it. That's my only plan. But you're not willing to be playful. Like playing with this concept, in the beginning, the guy might posture up.
Yeah.
He might even pass your guard.
Yeah.
But if you do it over and over again for the next couple weeks or something, pretty soon he's not getting away and your submission percentage goes way up. But there's a price to be paid for that. And it's a little bit of humility and allowing things to happen.
Yeah, and I think I know this is going on way too long, but I remember you talked about like he had a really good point too, where he would I think you were talking about where you sometimes you'd allow people to type you out at like different academies.
Oh yeah,
allow it because it like breaks that ice and it gets like out of this mentality where you can start learning, man.
Pedro's playbook, man.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I was telling him I was going somewhere. I was probably a purple belt first time. And I was traveling down to California, and he'd be like, all right, you have a 3-day camp. Day 1, you let everybody tap you out. You don't even really try to defend it. You just watch.
Yep.
Day 2, you be a little playful, but you start to defend some things. The guy caught you easy the day before. Today, it's not so easy. Day 3, you want to tap him out, keep the playful attitude. And what happens, and he was totally right on, because we get used to rolling with each other. So it's like, oh, I know your moves. I know when I backstep, you're going to do X, Y, and Z or whatever. Yeah. Because we just, finite our creativity a little bit. But you don't know these guys. But over the course of the first day, at least a day, they've shown you all their best moves. Because they're like, oh, this guy's visiting, purple belt. Man, I'm going to try everything out on him. So by day 2, it's actually super easy to defend. You're like, oh, this guy likes the neck crank. This guy likes the omoplata. This guy likes the triangle. And I knew what was going to happen. And I go everywhere and play that way. And maybe sometimes you learn something because the guy does like some really cool technique, surprises you, and you go, oh man, how'd you do that? And because I'm being so playful and allowing things to happen, I've never had one person say, oh, I don't know, I got lucky.
Man.
They show me like everything.
And you develop good relationships with people that way. You know, I mean, that's I don't care. I've tapped out more as a black belt than I allow it to happen a lot of the times because like I'm here to help people. I'm here to like make people learn and like allow people to learn. I'm not here to be like, hey, check out how good I am at jiu-jitsu. Because if that was my mentality, I wouldn't be any good. Yeah. You know?
It's like I'm here to help, but I want to be in a position where I have to think.
Yeah.
If somebody's just like, it's like, all right, it's obvious, man. Yeah. It's like playing cards and the guy has his ace like on his forehead, like facing you. Oh, yeah. There's nothing, I don't go away from that ever like, wow, I learned to move, I learned how to get out of something. Yeah. It's extremely rare. It's the tricky guys, man.
That's where you get like,
it's like, how do you do that? Like, I thought you were going for this whole setup.
Yeah.
And this is part of it, man. You start to get these positions down, all of a sudden, it's so confusing. Yeah. It's like, man, I thought you were going for my arm bar. I thought you were going for the neck. And it's always like the second option. So pretty soon, as soon as you touch and you're holding the head, it's like there's no safe place anymore. So all of a sudden, the burden is on the other person. And you've got less work to do. Instead of 100%, I got to tap you out.
Oh, for sure.
I just get to the position, and now the person's freaking out a little bit. Like, what am I going to do?
Oh, yeah. It's crazy, man.
It's awesome. Anyway, guys, Wednesday, Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. You can skip all the talking and just rewind and watch the first 2 minutes.
That's okay. There's some good stuff in there. Good ideas.
I think there's great ideas in
Yep.
there, man. Articulating those ideas.
I wish someone was there to tell us that back when we started.
You know, I got some good feedback from a couple people this week, and they both said that, like, man, you're showing some details that I never saw coming up.
Yeah.
And we were in the same spot.
Yep.
We didn't get those details either. It was such a long journey. Almost both of us are nearly in our 40s.
Yeah.
I'll let you guess which
Pretty
one.
close. We're pretty
close.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, how many moves do we do? Like,
Oh yeah.
like today, even putting the hand down.
Yeah.
I wasn't shown that. I was shown the opposite.
Yeah.
Scissor sweep, feet on the floor.
Yeah.
So there were gaps, but by just searching, and I don't know how many times we travel to see Pedro or go to a seminar, take a private lesson.
Yeah.
You know, I'm trained with like John-Jacques Machado's and those guys regularly. And that was the price we paid. And a lot of people can't leave their day job to go do that.
No,
Or
we're
they got
very
family.
lucky. We're very lucky.
Yeah, the timing really worked out. And it's the same with the JKD and boxing curriculum too. There's
Yeah.
every mechanic on the street, on the corner, is not necessarily a good mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
Every martial artist is not necessarily a qualified, genuine article.
No,
And
because
stuff
think
like
about it, man. Like, and I'm not gonna get too into this, but like, you know, it takes resources. I've spent over $80,000 in my education
Easy, dude.
as a martial
6 figures,
artist.
for sure.
So if you're and I'm not saying that I'm better than anybody or anything. That's not what I'm saying at all. But it's hard to get to that point where that's all you're doing. That's, you know what I mean, where that's what your main focus is. It's almost like selfish in a way. You have to be like, I gotta save money for this. I gotta do this. I gotta do this.
Buy those geese.
I gotta get better. I gotta be better.
Gotta improve.
And that's when that's where you get that trickle down effect, right? Because I don't go to a seminar and be like, hey, dude, check out how good I am. What I do is I go like, well, jeez, I spent $150 in this. I'm gonna ask that dude so many questions. He's gonna be so damn annoyed by me.
By
He's
the
gonna be hiding
time
on.
I'm done, it's $1 a question.
Yeah, he's gonna be hiding on the other side of that mat, like looking over his shoulder to make sure I'm not anywhere around, man. that's the way I think about it. It's like if I'm like there needling you, then like, you know, that I've gotten everything I could.
Get
out
your
of
money's
it.
worth.
Yeah, for sure, man.
That's right.
So
Well, we're here for free on
Yep.
YouTube for you guys. And thanks for liking and subscribing to the channel. With that, we're going to take off out of here. We'll be back probably around Friday with some Kali. I got a couple requests for like long tools like staff or sword. So maybe I'll pull out some of the basics from that. It's really easy stuff. You guys will enjoy it. But glad you're getting something out of this. We appreciate you guys. Thanks again. Warriors out.
Where's out?